There was a umpire for the World Series one time that was being interviewed by a newscaster. And the newscaster asked this umpire, he says, "How can you really tell whether that's a ball or a strike? How do you know that?" And the umpire said, "Well," he said, "those pitches ain't nothing until I call them." And he's right. When that ball is released from that pitcher's hand and goes across that base, it has no meaning until the umpire says strike or ball. And the reason I'm telling you this story is because life has no meaning but what we give it. We can call life anything we want to call it. We can look at our life and say, "Oh, it's terrible. I'm living a terrible life." And another person who's right with you may say, "Oh, it's a wonderful life. I'm having a wonderful time." And those are the results of what each person has called this life to be. Life is really neutral. It's nothing. So now, the way we know about this, one of the ways we know about this is a phenomenon called the placebo effect. It is a mind over body type thing. If a doctor gives a patient a sugar pill and tells this patient that this pill will help him, then that pill will help that patient because the patient has faith in the doctor and in medicine and in science in general, and they will be helped. This is an example of mind over body, and it's very common. Scientists running tests on new drugs that they're developing will give the drug to one group of people and a placebo to another group of people, and if the drug don't outperform what the placebo does, then they probably don't have a drug that's worth putting on the market. And that's all comes through belief in what you believe. Now, you're in control of your beliefs. You can change your beliefs anytime you want to change them. There's several ways to do it, and their affirmations are a very good way. In fact, many people have written that they're the only way of doing that. I'm not sure. Reading books. Reading good books on if you're depressed or you're anxious, if you read good books on self-help, I think those help. I know affirmations help because I've used them and I've seen them used by hundreds of people, and it does help. And so don't let people tell you that you're stuck wherever you're stuck, because you're not. A lot of people like to say, well, it's all in your mind. It's all in your, not in your mind, but in your brain. They like to say, well, your brain is causing you to do that, and there's just nothing you can do about it. It's a chemical imbalance, and we'll give you a bunch of chemicals, and we'll see if this will help. Well, there's no proof that that's true. There's no proof that you have a chemical imbalance in your brain. And so you're better off trying to figure out what your beliefs are. If you're in a bad situation and you're being abused and something like that, something really bad, and life's like hell for you, then you do need to do something about it. You need to tell somebody. You need to call a helpline. You need to get out of that situation, because until you get out of it, you probably won't have a decent chance in order to change your life. But if you're not in an abusive situation and you just feel bad about the world, then you can start doing things like reading affirmations on a daily basis. You can start reading good self-help books. And I know a book that helped me a whole lot was a book written by Maxwell Maltz. It's called Psycho-Cybernetics. Now, I read that book 50 years ago, and that book is still in print. So that indicates it must be a pretty good book if it's still around. But the principles in it are solid, and they do help people to get out of situations that they can't seem to get out by themselves. Now, it is true you might need help. You might need somebody to help you do this, and if you do need help, get it by all means. But I want you to know that you can, through your belief system, through your thoughts, get better. And I hope that you will do this. Thank you.